and welcome to episode 4 of The Way Home. In this episode, I will discuss what it means to be a twin flame and all of the hints, responsibilities, the sacredness of being on that journey. And I'm Pat, coming to you live from somewhere on planet Earth. The term twin flame is put around a lot, and it is a term that has been used in so many different sects of the term spirituality culture that is becoming rampant on Earth right now. Twin flames, oh, they're real. And you are one. But what does that mean? It means that you exist for a reason. You were not put here on this earth as a real twin flame to just wake up in the morning, eat, drink, go to some mundane job, and then die one day. Twin flames are so rare on this earth for a reason. You are very, very special. You are not like any of these other humans that you see and have come across in your time on this earth. You are special. You are unique. You have a very serious purpose on this planet. That is up to you individually to figure out what your purpose is. You know that it's true that deep down within you, you've always known that you're not like anybody else that you've met. You're not like these other people. Yes, you have tried at certain points in life to act like those people or to fit in with the crowd. And that may have worked for a time. But that is not why or who you truly are. Who you truly are is you are a beautiful, beautiful angel that God created. Whatever your perception is right now of God, know that God loves you, that God really knows the most intimate parts of you and details of you and wants a very open and serious relationship with you. Despite what your mind may have told you or is telling you now. You have been through sorts of trauma. It is your job with the help of the divine, of God, and your guides. I'll expand on more of that later. For you to figure out what is going on in your reality. What is your purpose? Your purpose is not what everybody else is doing. You are not part of them. Yes, you exist on this planet, and there are other humans on it, but you are not. No. I urge you to realize, as your journey gets deeper within yourself, and as you move forward in your life, to really understand your own uniqueness and to figure out what your gifts are, to figure out what God created you to be. I highly urge you to take the time to go to YouTube and look up a certain specific channel that has subliminals for this journey and for your unique journey. The channel is called Celestial Seed Sound. I urge you to go and do that, and to look up the subliminals and meditation tracks that group put out on YouTube. That's completely free. They designed all of their meditation tracks, all of their subliminal tracks, to reprogram and realign you energetically with your purpose, with who you really are. And to understand that whatever your mind has been put in, whatever has been put into your mind, not all of it's correct. No matter where you are in this journey, you are going to have a very serious connection with the universe. That is up for you to figure out what I mean by that. That is completely a subjective experience to every one of you. And know that the universe loves you and wants the best for you and is there to guide you. Yes, she will put you through tests and trials. And you may not understand what is this all about, or whatever your thoughts may be that arise when these tests and challenges really start to come up. But know this, that challenges and tests from the universe, are actually there specifically for you to help you grow and it's a multitude of things, to help you develop a sense of yourself, your realignment, your way home to yourself. Because portions of your life, if not all of them, have been you directing your attention and your love into the wrong sex and areas of life. And it is your job, now you have help. You are not alone. You are never alone. You've never been alone. Even though no human will around you will really understand what is going on. They're not supposed to. You're on your own unique journey. Now, the term twin flame in today's, I'll call it popular culture, is has misconstrued what the twin flame journey really is and what you're doing on it. It has nothing to do with another person. What it is it's you as an individual soul, as an individual divine being, refocusing your attention on yourself and your heart and your mind and your body to learn the lessons that you need to learn, to reactivate you into a very serious purpose. Why would God create you for such a very serious purpose and to have you separate from everybody else for no reason? Well, He wouldn't do that. Source, God, did that to really call upon whatever your gifts are, whatever He created you to do. And it's going to be, and it already is, that timeline, that the future version of you that you're actually on the journey to meet, that's already there. That's already preordained by the divine. You as an individual being in human form have to figure out how to get there, and have to figure out that it has nothing to do with the twin flame. And okay, the term twin flame, yes. What that means is, yes, you do have what is known as a kingdom spouse or as a twin flame, okay? Now, what that means in a very, very simplistic yet scientific way is this: that because you are not your body, you are not your mind, you are your soul. And I really urge you to understand that and to accept that, because once you accept that you're not your body and that you're not your mind, that you're your spirit, that you are way more than the ego, the ego is just a false way of existence. It's how the world perceives you. Well, that's an illusion anyway. That's not who you really are. You will discover that, yes, you do have some other human that exists somewhere out in the world that is a reflection of you. Now, what is a reflection of you? If you go to your mirror right now, any mirror, and you look at yourself, what you are looking at is actually you. Well, it's your body, but you get it. And it is you looking at the opposite of you. When you go into your mirror and you stop your mind and you just look at yourself, you will realize that what you're looking at is yourself, but in a reversed position. Think of that like, excuse me, think of that as your twin flame. Now, of course, that twin flame will, whoever that person is for you, Your journey is to eventually, yes, meet them. But what they are is that your soul, before it entered your body, actually was split into two. And it was one big soul split into two different human bodies. And it's a reflection. So on a very energetic level, on a very fundamental level of existence and of your being, because everything's energy and everything is vibration, I urge you to also look up the way reality really works, which I'll expand upon later. It's fascinating. You are not, yes, you are physically separated from whoever God created your twin flame to be and is. But that other being, that other divine being in human form, actually has the same energetic soul frequency as you, because God, before your soul entered your body, God split your soul into two. One goes into a male body and one goes into a female body. Think about it. You listening right now, you know that your inner essence, your inner spirit, your inner energy is either aligned to more of a masculine or feminine energy. I am not talking about your gender and what your human body may look like and what human body God planned for you and created for you. I am talking about levels of your existence way beyond what you initially see in the mirror. No matter if you're a guy or a girl, your inner energy, the way you express yourself, the way you feel about yourself, those inner energies and emotions are either masculine or feminine, despite what the body looks like that you're looking at. And that means that you're a twin flame, because what that means is you're either a divine feminine or a divine masculine. Now that is up to you to figure out and no one else. And once you figure out which one of those energies you are, it's really easy to do. It just takes self-evaluation. And, oh yeah, the internet. Yeah, the internet exists to where I'm not recommending you do this at all. But I know that tarot videos and how the synchronicities of the universe work, and you may have come to the conclusion or had the thought process of, well, I'm either, a divine feminine or divine masculine. Well, that is up for you to figure out, and it's awesome. And once you learn that, you will start to really understand more about your own being. And this is a journey. None of this is going to, one, happen overnight. Two, it's not going to be fun all the time. I thought it was. It's not. It is nothing like you think it's going to be. What it's going to do, and I am not trying to scare you. I just want you to be aware that part of your purpose on this earth is to face all of your inner demons or inner fears, the shadow work part. And I highly urge you to look that up and understand how that process works. It is a term that Carl Jung, the famous dead psychologist, coined a while back, and it was he discovered that for a reason. That whole theory is real and it works. And it's learning how to be, it's just facing yourself. And here's another hint. When you really start this journey of who you are authentically, because that's another piece of it, is you being you authentically from the core inside out, not what the world has taught you or what your human parents have taught you. They may have instilled good things in you of how to be a human, but I am not talking to you about being a human. I am talking to you about a very sacred and serious spiritual journey that you are on or have just began. Because it's a journey, it's a process. My suggestion to you is to, because now you know who you are and more of what's going on, is yes, you do have someone out there that is a reflection from their core outward of you. But the quote, twin flame journey has nothing to do with them at all. It has to do with you. You will eventually get to that phase to where you meet that person, and for whatever reason, that is up to you to find out and to discover. But I am going to guide and help you get to that person and to get, because really what you're going to figure out is you on this serious sacred journey that God has set before you. What it is that it's about you. It's about understanding. It's about taking your attention from this very interesting world that exists right now to you turning your attention into yourself and figuring out you, healing ancestral trauma, healing your own trauma that you created and didn't mean to, your own self. Because you are very, very gifted in more than one way. Your gifts were God-given to you for a reason. And part of your journey will figure out what those gifts are. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to be like others around you. And that is amazing. Think about it. Do you really want to be like everyone else? Do you really want do you really want what the world has to offer? Because it's all an illusion. It's not real. The only thing that's actually real is love. This fear-driven world that you were born into is not always fun to be in. It is not always. Oh, it is just interesting. You will find that on your journey that you really will start to see how much you are not like everybody else. The more you dig into yourself, and the more you, the more you align with love, the more you align with whatever your inner energy is, whether that be the divine feminine, which is the more loving, which is the more, well, it's the more receptive, the more feminine, the more goddess energy. Or you're a divine masculine, which is the more doing, the action, the thinking part. Because actually, it doesn't matter which energy or essence God put into you and that you are, because you actually have both parts in you. Because, think about it. When God made you and split your soul into two and put one soul in one body, one half of the soul in one body, and the other half of the soul in the other body, your body, if the other person somewhere out there is a reflection of you, then that means that you're a reflection of it. But at the beginning, you had both. Your one whole soul was both parts, masculine and feminine, together. And it was split in two by God to be put into your two different bodies, so that those two humans, you and the other one, are actually on a journey to find yourself. But finding yourself is not the other person. Finding yourself is you, and then eventually your external reality, because, and I'll talk more about this in later episodes, you are a conscious creator of your own reality. And once you one, figure that out, two, figure out how to do that correctly, and then three, figure out that the whole time it was all about you. And that when you finally do meet that other person out there, the complete reflection of you, that is just like an achievement. That is an award for you as an individual, aligning yourself with both parts of you. Because you do have both masculine and feminine energies and parts of you, whether you see that or not. Because God did not design twin flames to be like normal people. Because really, you're not normal people. You are a gift to this world. You exist in whatever God called you to do, whatever your true purpose is. It is not normal in a good way. It is not mundane. It is not average. I highly encourage you at some point in your journey to go and get a Bible and look up Revelation and just sit there and read it. If you are open-minded to that now, I highly encourage you to do that, and then you will get to a certain point when you realize that there are things in Revelation that are happening now in the world. What does that have to do with you? That is not up to me to figure out. That is up to you to discover with God and trusting in Him. And knowing that the Holy Bible, that the Old and New Testament has actually a lot of factual events in it, and a lot of those events were real. Now that is up for you to figure out. These are just suggestions. Learning, right, this movement. Yeah, this movement, The Way Home, is about guiding you on your twin flame journey home. Home means to you. To learn how to take back your power. To learn how to love yourself again, or for the first time ever. And what that really means. And developing, because you are a holistic being. You are not, you're not just your college degree. You're not just what your family verbally told you growing up. You are not, really, you're none of that. You are more. You are divine. Some would even say angelic. Now, wherever you are right now in this moment, listening to me talk, you have been through a lot of ups and a lot of downs in your life so far. However, all of those experiences have actually led you on your own path to be on this awakening journey. Awakening to, whoa, what? Wait a minute. Wait, what? So I'm not like other people? Wait. Well, no wonder. And you will start to, once you start learning how to heal correctly, and healing is, it's the first part of your journey. And the healing never stops. But the healing is there because you are way different and special. And this is not an egoic or hierarchy level, okay? This is just all about purpose. This is you discovering yourself so you can be more aligned with your purpose and figure out who you really are and what you're really doing here. You are not just here to play the societal game and then one day not wake up again because you're dead. No, that's not, no, it's way beyond that. It's special and it's sacred. There are parts of you that are going to really align with a lot of certain rituals or objects or cultures or ways of being that aren't as popular today, but were real popular a long time ago. Such as, crystal healing, Reiki, the term witchcraft, which that term is also very misconstrued. All that means to be a, quote, witch or any of that is all that is a human that understands energy and how to manipulate it and to work with it. It does not mean that you're a bad person. It does not mean that you're the Wicked Witch of the West and that you're going to get... You get it. No. You'll also align with, or you may align with, different types of priestess work. Now, this is going ancient. Now, yes, there is a huge resurgence of that now, thank goodness. for many different reasons on this planet. And there is a plethora of information that is specific to your path that you will discover as you discover more about yourself, what all of that means for you and which path you might want to experience while you're on this planet. And you may resonate with ancient Egypt. You may resonate with ancient Greece. You may resonate with ancient India. Well, you resonate with that. Or, here's a better way to put it. Before you started this serious sacred journey that you're on now, there were moments in your existence that absolutely caught your attention as far as some sort of old ancient culture. Okay? It could be ancient Babylon, or it could be ancient well, it's the same thing, but ancient Israel. It could be any of that. But at certain points in your life, you had these awarenesses that you didn't understand then what they were, but what they really came from. But you will have some sort of drawing to an ancient culture. I highly urge you to go look into that for yourself and why you have that inclination at all. That inclination is there for a reason. And it's for you to figure out and look into it. You will discover that you are way deeper than the sea of rocks that may be around you right now or that you've met before, but you are way deeper than you think you are. Your being is so magnificent and so, in depth, way beyond the surface level of what you may have thought about yourself previously. Isn't it cool that God designed you that way? Yes, it is. And I'll give you a hint about what some of that celestial seed sound group instilled in those subliminals if you decide to listen to them. A lot of it has to do with being a twin flame. And it has to do with reactivating you to why God created you. Now, the specific purpose of why God created you, I don't know. That is not for me to know. That is for you to figure out. And that is your own sacred journey. But there are baseline ways of being and correct things that every twin flame on this planet shares, as far as an overgeneralization, not the specifics of like, oh, you like water reiki. Oh, well, I like, being a witch. Okay, whatever. No, not that. The what part of your purpose is, and it's part of your purpose is actually, as an overgeneralization, is to be okay with wherever you are right now. Whatever situations are going on externally, in any environment you find yourself in currently, you are going to be set, if not already, on a journey of accepting all of that and being internally okay, because this journey is completely an internal process, and once you start it and continue it, you will actually see your external reality completely, your external life, to completely change and to completely be remolded into whatever God wants you to do. And it will not happen overnight, and it will not always be fun. Now, you will have fun in some parts of this. And you are going, oh, you're going to love it. You're going to really love it. And then there's going to be some days it's like, God, why are you doing this? Like, what is going on? And guess what? That is all part of the experience of being alive as a human on this planet. It's actually pretty cool. Experiencing the fears, experience them, and facing and overcoming your own inner shadows, your own inner fears, your own inner traumas that you've both inherited and created yourself in whatever form those are. That is usually where people really do not like those parts of the journey. And you know what's cool? Is that your purpose is to face those. And if you come up and, let's say you're digging into yourself, and you find out about fear X, whatever that is for you, and you realize that that is part of your journey, is to face that and overcome it, and you run away from it, or you don't deal with it, like you consciously realize, no, I'm not doing that. Guess what? This is so cool about the universe and your purpose and the divine and God and how all that's connected to you directly, is that, oh, baby, that lesson will come back to you. Now, the time it takes from the time you avoid a lesson to it coming back into your face again, that is not for me to figure out. That is for you to become aware of, and it happens whenever you least expect it. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point. That is a huge point of your healing journey and your realignment, your coming back to your authentic self, to loving yourself, is to face all that stuff, is to be reprogrammed into whatever God has for you. And yes, that sounds the way it sounds, but it's okay. It's the reason you're alive. The real reason you're alive is to do everything I'm talking about, and then figure out the specific details that are assigned to you to implement on this planet before your vessel gives out. Because your body is a vessel. It houses all of that. The mind, the body, of course, and the spirit. All of that, the Trinity, right? The quote, Holy Trinity that is talked about in different religions and in different, you just hear that in society nowadays. Guess what? It's already in you. That's so cool. It's awesome. I know. Okay, so, but it's up to you, of course, to figure out what that means for you specifically and how to understand it and what to do with it and all that. But you can do it. There are going to be days where you really love, because that's the whole point. That is one of the points of you being alive, is to experience just a multitude of different things. It is not to be a mundane person. It is not to live a mundane existence like everybody else, or like the average person, because baby, you're not average at all. You're a glorious divine being having a human experience. And the more you start to become aware of that within yourself, the more the, quote, magic begins. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Yeah, so magic is real. So, and it's, okay, and in English, it's magic with a K on the end of it. All that means is that that word is actually, magic is practiced every day by you, whether you realize it or not, and by all, well, I guess, by all other humans that exist, even if they're a twin flame or not. But what that magic is called now is it's called energy. And you being this sacred divine being, your energy is very potent, and it is nothing to play games with, for it is within you for a real serious purpose. And it is so potent that you may have already figured this out, that there are people that you will or have come across that may want to siphon that energy without you being consciously aware of it or not. And I'll explain that in detail later, or in future episodes. But your energy is real sacred. It is really, really a beautiful, it is your essence, because everything at its core, fundamentally in this universe, is energy or is vibration. But your presence here on this earth is, for one, already noticed by other people, whether you realize it or not, and is given to you for a reason. And then it's up to you and God to figure out, well, you with God and you with the divine and you with the universe, to figure out why you were given such a potent energy, such a potent essence. It's you experiencing the human existence. That's what you're doing. That's part of what you're doing. Now, you are going to realize that you're going to have to heal some stuff. That the more you take your time consciously each day to really focus on yourself and to really, heal, but to really understand yourself. That's a whole thing within healing too, is correctly healing, processing all of the junk, processing the trauma, processing whatever stuff you need to get out of you and deal with and let go and move on. And then, does it get magical? You will start to be more aligned, one, with God, two, with your real purpose, or your purpose next, because it comes in stages, and your very serious connection with the divine, because your connection with the divine is not like others. It's not like other people. Of course, people, a very common perception of humans is that the most like holy or like the most connected to God are the humans that are preachers. That is not necessarily the case at all. Sometimes it's the opposite. But what I am speaking about is not human. It's divine. It is your essence, in a way, is a mirror to God's essence. Let that soak in for as long as it needs to. Healing modalities that you can start right now to help you along your journey is, one, figuring out wherever you are in life, it doesn't matter. It does not matter what your physical age is at this point. None of that matters. But you take stop. I know life is constant. I don't just take your time and figure out, okay, what is my current diet? Is it good? If it's not, quote, good or healthy, I highly urge you to implement, yes, a vegan diet. Now, I personally don't like labels, but I also see the paradox of how just like got sidetracked. They So okay, basically it doesn't matter what your preconceived notions in your mind are about being a vegan. Now, if you already do that, great, then you could just skip forward in a couple minutes to the next part of this. But eating things, okay, I highly urge you to not eat any dead animals ever at all for the rest of your life until you leave this planet. I know how that may sound to some people. You may love meat, dead meat at this point, but as you raise your spiritual awareness, as you go along your journey, you will see that it is not healthy at all for you ever to eat dead anything, dead animals, okay? A dead fig is another thing, but it's not, it doesn't seem as though figs have a consciousness to them that I have noticed anyway. It's just like as healthy and as organic from the earth as possible that you can afford right now. Please do it. It will help you in so many ways. It's not funny because it's serious. Because your vessel, it's another part about being a twin flame, is that your vessel, your body specifically, is a sacred body to God. That God, source, universe, made. And, I hate to burst your bubble, but God didn't make you for your own glory. For your own, look at me. It has nothing to do with that. It's the opposite, in fact. What it is whatever God made your purpose to be as a real twin flame, you will really start to see, as your journey goes on, that you are here to be an example of God, to be an example of the character of Jesus Christ, not the character that human life implemented on this planet, the character of love, of self-sacrificing love. And that's why I highly encourage you, when you're ready, to read the New Testament, but to read the parts about Jesus' teachings. And there are so cool. There's so many different translations that exist now, not just the Old English that you may find not to your liking. There are a lot of different translations. The New Living Translation is a really good one for modern day, quote, Christians. But what I'm talking about has nothing to do with a religion, has nothing to do with that. No, this is such a level beyond that. You are such a level beyond any man-made term or any man-made ritual. Okay, the next part is once you figure out what your diet is and how to implement the best stuff, and it's really cheap if you use your brain and think about it, for you to eat as healthy as you can, no matter what your other expenses are in life. It doesn't matter. And the sooner you do it, the sooner you will be able to, quote, raise your vibration, but also it gives you a longer life, so you're able to fulfill your purpose better and longer. 2 is your mind. Wherever you are on your journey at this point of you listening to me talk right now, your mind does have some negative stuff in it, whether that be past trauma that you haven't released and processed correctly, or whether that be different thought patterns, different mindsets, different perceptions, because perception is everything. And you figuring out your own mind and what you need to delete out of it, because yes, you have the power solely to delete anything out of your mind that you do not want or do not like or does not align with your purpose, because really it's not about you, it's about God. But God made you to also experience really good things in this life despite the traumas that you've been through up until this point. Those traumas existed in you for a reason, and you went through those actually as part of your healing journey because you have a very serious purpose. Well, God does not give a very serious purpose to any human character in this life and then they just don't go through anything. They don't. The bigger the trauma, the bigger the purpose, the bigger the attack, you could say, because, and I'll get to that later episodes, but life is more spiritual than you may have thought previously or that you may be aware of right now. I'll get to that later episodes and in more of my content. Figuring out your mind, meditation is key, but being mindfulness is key throughout your waking day, no matter if you're going to whatever job you have, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. Figuring out your mind and resetting it is that is part of your purpose now, is to do that. And you have the power to do it. Your mind your mind was initially created to actually be the safest place for you to focus your attention on, whether it is right now or not. And because you're on a healing journey, I highly recommend whatever modalities of healing, of external therapy, but of course I wouldn't tell. There are things that you don't speak to other people about, and you will figure out why as your life continues. But healing from trauma, healing from childhood trauma, healing from whatever bad experiences you've had, the normal parts of human society and human psychology are there for a reason, and it's good for you. It would be good for you, and you would benefit from it, to go explore that in whatever ways helps you. EMDR, which is rapid eye movement therapy, allows you to bring back, like if you have PTSD, and to correctly deal with that. And that is actually something you don't have to pay for. Yes, you can pay for a therapist, EMDR therapist who has been trained and licensed to help you through that if you need. But if right now you don't have if you can't afford that in this moment of you listening to this, that's fine. You can actually just go to YouTube and type in EMDR self-therapy, and videos will come up and you'll see it. There's actually an app too for both Android and iPhones, the App Store. It's an EMDR app that somebody made, and it's really cool. It's a ball that goes back and forth, and you can change the background to it and make it look Christmassy or make it look, whatever environment you want it in. It's not about that, but it's still cool. And you can actually, you'll see, you'll figure it out. And studying spirituality. Now, because you're a holistic being, holistic is healing. That is a very serious part of your own existence as well, is to holistically heal yourself. And I'm not here to push any sort or any specific type of spirituality on you. Whatever you feel like will work for you, or that you are open-minded to right now, look into it. Because you have that sense of awareness of it, And you have that open-mindedness to it or drawing to it for a reason. And that is where you should start. And it will expand from there as you continue to move forward in it. Reading spiritual texts, whatever that is for you, and incorporating some sort of prayer and meditation. Yes, meditation. Oh, it's awesome. And there's all those YouTube tracks you can go to, the solfeggio frequencies, all those different hertz that heal all different parts of the human, the human existence, really, because the human existence is actually internal, and you'll figure that out as time goes forward, and I'll expand upon that as well in later episodes. But prayer to what you perceive God to be. God is not what the world usually says God is. God is way beyond anything that humans can really even fathom. But whatever God is for you, cultivate an internal, intimate, open relationship with it. Because it is alive, and it has been with you before you even knew who you were. And God, it loves you. And I refer to it as, it's really, because everything's energy. Well, God is energy too, but because this whole process for you is actually internal. Has nothing to do with anything external. It is all about you and your internal universe, your internal workings, your internal mechanisms, your internal state. And I highly encourage you to start to develop if you haven't already, and to continue to develop a very open, intimate, loving relationship with God. And to do it daily is my recommendation. And to do it, and a really intimate and easy way to start is not doing it from your mind. It is actually doing it from your inner child, the innocence that I know is in you. That part of you really, one, has always had a connection with God, whether you realize it or not, consciously, but two, really wants to invoke or to start or to continue and to grow its relationship with God. Because you are not your mind. Guess what? Your mind is just a tool. And it's a tool that you can mold yourself. Yeah, you've been molded in some interesting ways up until this point, good and bad, but they're all just learning experiences, and you can reset your mind. And that's so cool. Well, it also makes sense now on a bigger scale why twin flames exist now in this day and age in this society, because there is all of this information that exists online technically for free that will help you in your own specific journey or your specific way. Because remember, you are not like everybody else. Your journey has nothing to do with anybody else. It actually just has everything to do with you. And it's relearning yourself and recultivating and re-enjoying yourself and your purpose. Well, I think that does it. I really appreciate you listening to this, and my hope is that you got something and a lot out of this. I also have a TikTok, a Lemon8, an Instagram, and then their offshoot, a Threads account by the title of this podcast, The Way Home. please check out my work. It is all about, well, the twin flame journey and the spiritual, holistic components of it. And there's all types of information that exists within those posts that I have done on social media that will help you out. I have a website too. It's a WordPress site. It's got an interesting name because WordPress, you have to put the WordPress thing in it, in the URL. It's The Way Home to Source WordPress7.com. I'll put the link is also on my social media accounts. The links will be a part of this podcast somehow. I'll upload it. Oh, I can upload it in the description. And my website actually has a lot of free information, and I have actually designed free courses that will help you in the different holistic healing approaches. They are fundamental courses to where you can learn more information about what I have been discussing in my podcast and in my social media posts. Again, this is Pat coming to you live from somewhere on planet Earth. Thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting my channel. I'm always open for comments, questions, concerns. Please drop a comment if you feel the need to. Thank you. Goodbye.